this presentation is more about the journey and the process than about the product. Because we're still kind of in the middle of our journey. And I picked this picture because to me, that's just, you're on a journey, you're on a road, and that's where we are. And the Seeds of Peace is such an inspirational and wonderfully collaborative place or platform, I guess, or more than that. You're wonderful people. And the people that I work with were all very inspired with this whole process. So this will be more about the process. So I work with two other people. I am a teacher at University Laboratory School. We're a K through 12 charter school. I am a science teacher, and I mostly work with middle school and high school. And really a lot of work with the high school with, I do peer mentorship and SEL work, and have recently been implementing mindfulness and trying to get my mindfulness certification. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. I also work with Christina Rivera. She is our college and career counselor, and Dana Kitamura is our guidance counselor at our school. And so that's where we're kind of coming from. And the way we get into these things is so great at our schools. Dana will come up and say, "Hey, I sent you a link. I sent you some information. Let me know if you wanna do this." And and Tina does the same thing. And then next thing you know, okay, we'll do it. All right, we're gonna do it together. And that's kind of how we get started with these things. It's very informal, and we've done a lot of workshops and things like that together, and we always have a good time and get inspired. And so I was looking forward to everything. So we came to our first online meeting, and I'm sure you all remember the Find Your Anchor presentation. And it's funny because we weren't really talking too much back and forth, and it's like all three of us. This was our big, like, ooh, we really kind of latched onto this. And so we went to that first Zoom meeting. I did want to mention Naomi. It was our leader, our fearless leader. And it was just a wonderful group of people that were in these breakout rooms, in this breakout room. All of us were telling our stories and being very inspired by each other and having comments and things back and forth. I don't know, it was a wonderful group to be able to do this together with. And so I just wanted to kind of mention that. That's kind of the next part of the process. And we're all kind of brainstorming. And so I forget exactly, well, look, it's Saturday, October 23rd, right? So I left the date. Are we going to go with the box idea? Want to meet at school to talk more? And I like the box idea. And yes, think we can do a lot with it. Yes, let's meet at school. And then this is me just seeing this. Yes to everything. So it was funny because we were all kind of like, the box, right? We really liked the anchor box idea. And we're like, okay, we're going to get this going. And so we're back into our Zoom meetings, working with the groups together, getting inspired. I want to go on to the next slide just because I wanted to mention these were some of the things that we were talking about. So I don't know if these people are presenting today. And if your project isn't up here in your inner group, I'm sorry. This is just what I kind of thought of off the top of my head. We had a geocaching idea. We had a message wall idea that sounded really great, maybe even having outdoors. Someone else in our group, I hope that she's presenting today because she's already done a lot of really cool stuff with college students. And so that's kind of representing her at the top, planting a tree or trees, and getting college students inspired and with peace building, and then a peace garden. We had someone else that was doing that. So these were kind of all the ideas that everybody was bouncing off of each other. We had great conversations. I walked away from every Saturday not feeling like, oh gosh, it was another workshop and I had to, something to do. No, I walked away feeling so inspired and energized, and I'm so excited to talk and do, and let's see what we can get started. Okay, next slide. So this is kind of a quick summary that I just came up with. Our idea was our why is hoping to raise awareness for mental health and to nurture and build community connections and support within our school, right? So because of our work, mostly with high schoolers and some middle schoolers too, our school is really small and tight knit. And so we thought maybe these boxes, maybe we could make it our own and have our own kind of Hawaii version of Find Your Anchor box. And so we just kind of had that idea. We've met several times already, and we've even had approval through administration. We set up meetings. We put a bulletin announcement for our first meeting, and our idea is to keep it student driven. We just have the idea, but we want the students to be the ones that come up with the ideas of what to put in the box. I mean, obviously it'll be all the resources and that sort of thing, but just to share the Find Your Anchor box with them and then turn it over to them and be like, okay, what do you folks think? What, how can we raise mental health awareness and also be supportive of people that are struggling through these issues? And as any of you working in school know, you're not going to make it through a year without having some kind of, whether it's small or large, it doesn't matter. The child that's going through that struggle, it's everything to them. And we just kind of wanted to raise that awareness that, sometimes people are struggling, and we want to be a supportive community and supportive for people that are going through those struggles, just as a simple school community. Not that we're, an organization or anything like that, but just, how can we as a small, simple community be able to do this? And so, as I said, we had all these plans, and then COVID hit. Oh, I did want to mention there is one particular student that kind of, I think we have in mind that's going through a struggle right now. And we've spoken with parents that had issues in the past, and Dana reached out to the parent, and they said they're willing to talk and help. And then this student, Dana reached out to as well, and just asked, is there anything you'd like to, she really loves her art. This is not hers, I apologize, but it is a representation of, she drew these beautiful mandalas. And so this is like the beginning, the very first little bit. And this student is the inspiration for this, that made this. And so I kind of wanted to honor her here and mention she made these really cool mandalas that we're probably going to be implementing into the box. And then because COVID, like, we were literally going to meet, and then for the last 2 weeks we've been online, and so we've postponed the meetings with the students. So that's kind of the final piece, is that we still need to have that meeting with students to get this to take off. And honestly, this is just for fun and just for humor, because of COVID, right? And all the things kind of, I like to go to humor. And I don't know if any of you were familiar with this that happened back in the day when we were doing all the Zoom calls. This was a district court meeting with a judge, and and there was a filter. Go ahead and play it. It's less than a minute. And if you haven't seen it, enjoy. And if you have seen it, maybe this will bring up some fond memories of some very funny moments. Go ahead with the video if it'll play.
And I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to
can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow.
Okay, so I hope that it's so funny that we're having tech issues this morning, and I thought that would be a great way. My neighbor and I were just bawling in tears laughing over this video, so I hope this brought some laughter to your day as well. And thank you, Seeds of Peace, for all the inspiration and a connection that you've been able to